I mean, that's a great fight. Shakur is a hell of a talent. Um, I don't think that he's Devin at all. But we'll see. We hear a lot of, the media and jumping in the ring. Like Devin always says, you got to put some substance with it and talk to the right people and do the right things and do it the right way, and let's make it happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I know that he's ready. My guy is ready. These guys don't want to do it. You know what I mean? And then when I said that they say everything except let's fight, that same phrase that we coined on Champ Side Boxing, it's standing to be even more true.
Bill Haney blasted Shakur Stevenson live, accusing him of ducking real challenges after a Devin Haney fight offer surfaced. He questioned Stevenson's willingness to face elite competition and demanded he prove himself in the ring.
For his interview where he said that he might fight Devin at 47 if he was on a rehydration clause.
He had an opportunity and there was no clauses, there was none of that, you know what I mean? Obviously with them, the time will be right for them to fight, now. You know what I'm saying? The weight that they fight at, they've always been one weight behind each other or one weight after. Shakur will come up. You know what I mean? Devin will be at that weight for, have been campaigning at that weight. It's on him. You know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down. We can't go down to 135. He would have to come up. And, he can get this work anytime.
Haney mocked Shakur Stevenson as nothing more than a Twitter fighter, accusing him of talking online instead of facing top-level opponents. He insisted the Devin Haney fight offer was real and challenged Shakur to stop tweeting, step up, and sign the contract.
Every time Devin got a fight, here comes Twitterson. Here comes Twitterson. I'm telling you, every time he got a fight, here comes Twitterson. And even when we tried to negotiate with Twitterson, right? We tried to talk to him, he came back out and started tweeting. That's why they changed it to X.
Bill Haney addressed Shakur Stevenson's rehydration clause demands, pushing back on claims that Team Haney was protecting Devin. He argued that Shakur should accept fair terms and focus on fighting, rather than adding conditions that complicate negotiations and delay a major matchup.
I want your thoughts on Shakur saying he not fighting Dev unless he got a rehydration clause.
In or around the division, every bad motherfucker around Devin has gotten an offer to fight, or they've been in the ring, or, who else has that happened with? All the fights that the people want to see Devin fight, the person that got either a contract or Devin and got in the ring with it. Can we say that about anybody else? Shakur got a contract. Got a boot. Yes, he got a contract opportunity. The lawyer sat down. When you talk about an offer, so we're 100% correct in our legal descriptive of it. He got an offer for a certain amount of money and a certain opportunity that was legacy defined. Boots got an offer and an opportunity, legacy. Teofimo Lopez, he got an opportunity, legacy. Lomachenko, Tank Davis, he got an opportunity. Tell me, who am I missing? You tell me somebody that destined.
Devin Haney also publicly dismissed the idea of a strict rehydration clause, explaining that it would weaken him on fight night. He said limiting how much weight he can regain after the weigh-in would prevent him from performing at his best. Haney made it clear he wants major fights, but not under conditions that could compromise his performance in the ring.
Truthfully, I wouldn't and I couldn't have the rehydration clause. At the end of the day, I'm the man with the belt, I'm the hardware. When it comes to rehydration clause, it'll be something that I...
Mickey Bay opposes adding a rehydration clause to a potential Stevenson-Haney fight. He believes elite fighters shouldn't restrict each other's weight after the weigh-in. If they agree to compete, they should simply fight under normal rules.
We hear that Stevenson wants a rehydration clause with Devin, knowing that this has been a rivalry for a while. What do you think about that? Like, what was your reaction to that?
Believe in rehydration clauses unless the fighter's overweight. If a fighter's overweight, by all means. But if you want to fight a guy, I think you should just fight him. I ain't saying that I'm only now with them two, no, because he not that much bigger than Shakur. They always been like one weight apart. But I'm saying some fights may be an exception, but I don't think fighters that good need it. Floyd, well, he did it, I think, against Canelo, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna bring him up because Floyd is Floyd. Like he, you know. But
yeah, we're gonna get into him in a second too.
Yeah, Floyd is Floyd. Like at the end of the day, but when it comes to boxing,
in his view, special weight limits are only justified when a fighter fails to make the contracted weight. Otherwise, even a few extra pounds can significantly enhance strength, durability, and overall performance, creating an unfair competitive advantage.
But no, with Ben and Shakur, I don't think he need one. So I would rather have more money than pay him more. And then, because if you could beat him, I think he could just beat him, flat out beat him. Sometimes a weight advantage ain't always good.
No, but Shakur wants it with Devin too.
No, that don't need a weight. That don't need one either. If you're gonna fight a guy, just fight him. And then say if the fighter's overweight, then it should be a weight clause. That should be a rule. What in boxing, like if a fighter's a certain amount of pounds overweight, if you want to make the fight happen, it should be a weight clause. Like when Ryan came over like that, all of that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it should be a huge penalty. Like, because that's an advantage, like a huge advantage. If you tell most dudes in boxing they get 3, 4 pounds over their weight, the day of the fight or the day before, they're going to be a whole different, you're going to have a huge advantage.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has praised Shakur Stevenson for his recent performance, particularly his win over Teofimo Lopez, calling the fight beautiful and applauding Shakur's discipline and tactical control in the ring. Jones compared Stevenson's style to the defensive brilliance of Floyd Mayweather, while emphasizing that Shakur has consistently shown a willingness to face top-level opponents rather than avoid them. That said, some observers point to subtle defensive quirks in Stevenson's movement, suggesting his distance management and footwork could be tightened, as drifting too far out of range after slipping or blocking punches may create openings for aggressive opponents.
Shakur Stevenson is a very good fighter, but you gotta learn, and I will hope he will pay attention to this because this is gonna mean a lot for him. Mm-hmm. His feet are good, but sometimes they take him too far out of range to be able to come back and counter. Mm-hmm. The last guy he fought, the guy was a good puncher, so when he was jumping back, he jumped too far back out of range to where he couldn't come back and get something right away. You know what I'm saying? And for the fans, it starts to look bored.
That's how I say. I feel like he was running.
He really ain't running. He just don't understand that this is somebody that teach him. And I would teach him if they ever brought him to me to teach him. But he got to understand what I'm trying to tell him. I'm not trying to criticize him.
Right.
When you say something bad, they take it as criticism.
Right.
No, son, you got to understand how to not jump. Okay, people know what the thing that dig the hole, the excavator, right? Yeah. If you move that thing back too far, you can't reach the job. Right. It's got to work, but it got to stay on the job while it works. You can't take it out of you. You working with this because this part keeps on the job, the feet. This do the work. You take the thing and move it back, it's off the job. It can't work no more. So if you move it back every time off the job, it ain't gonna ever get no work done. So now it's gonna become bored. Why? It ain't doing it. Start on the hold and move to another one. When we gonna get a pond dug? We're not, because it's taking off the job too much. You gotta leave on the job before you get a pond dug. And that's his only thing. He a great fighter. He got great eyesight. He has great reaction time. He's gonna be a great fighter. He's gotta figure out how to use the feet a little bit.
Is he the best defensive fighter out of all four of them?
Right now, defensive, yes, because his defense is with his feet. Some people don't understand. Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game.
Mhm.
So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You got to cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem with. Once he learns that or figures that out, he gonna kill him.
Would the skill he has now make him the best out of them four?
Right now, no. Because some people gonna say, boy, and the reason Lester don't want to fight him is because they know he know that back foot game so well that he's not gonna engage until he wants to engage. And that's a good thing too. But for the fans and to be
Not right now.
the ratings, you gotta be able to engage and they need you to engage. You can't, then you can become bored.
With both fighters firmly established among boxing's elite, many believe now is the perfect time for Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson to finally meet in the ring. Haney continues to rank as a top pound-for-pound talent and has publicly pushed for the bout, calling it the sport's next major fight. Stevenson, coming off a dominant title performance and rising through the divisions, has the momentum and credentials to turn this into a blockbuster if talks fall into place. With both men in their prime and fan interest surging after recent standout performances, the matchup could become one of boxing's most compelling showdowns, provided both sides can agree on the terms and conditions.
This fight now is even more juicy than it was the first time around when they were talking about it. When they were talking about it the first time around, Haney was red hot as undisputed lightweight champion, and Shakur was the boogeyman who was very good, but was having trouble locking in those big
insider
games.
boogeyman.
Right. I gotta be honest, man. Like this could, if this happens right now, this is the right timing too, because both are at a good moment in their careers.
Very high.
It's actually,
and there's a title on
it's
line.
actually simmered better than it had back then. And back then it was really, really something that you wanted to see. But now, because of Shakur's recent performance and Haney still being undefeated and having righted the ship, winning as an underdog against Brian Norman, I rate that. I rate when you take on a fight as an underdog and you win it. I rate that. You know, that's why Haney, for me, got into the circle of trust, because he wasn't trying to milk the whole business like Javante Davis has. So he's taking on these kind of challenges. He's winning them. He built himself up to that level to now, okay, take on all comers. Win or lose, take on all comers. He's got that win over Norman as an underdog. You can say what you want post in hindsight. In foresight, a lot of people were picking against Haney. He gets that win. Shakur, in the meantime, makes his name bigger. Got to pump those numbers up, and he pumped those numbers up by winning the Teofimo Lopez fight. Now, you know what? Okay, now there's an interest from both fighters. A lot more money, a lot more at stake, a lot more, again, ambition. I like to use that word ambition today. And I think a lot more people will be interested in it than the...
Shakur Stevenson has spoken about growing up in the same amateur boxing circles as Devin Haney, explaining that they sparred and competed around each other for years, experiences that helped shape both of their careers. Stevenson has claimed he often got the better of those early encounters and used them to sharpen his skills against elite-level competition, pushing him toward success as a professional. He has consistently said he wants the biggest fights available, including a bout with Haney, and believes their shared amateur history adds extra intrigue to a potential pro clash. While negotiations and conditions have stalled a fight so far, Stevenson's past battles with Haney are a major reason many fans see a professional showdown as especially meaningful.
Me and Devin, we came up together in the amateurs. I used to go to his house down in Vegas. He used to live in a big ass mansion. And I was kind of I was like a broke young nigga from the trenches at the time. But when I seen the way he was living, that shit kind of motivated me, and it made me want to work harder and get to that kind of status. But he really it was his dad money at that time though.
So his dad, yeah. So what exactly did his dad do to have that much money?
I can't tell you. I don't know. I know that nigga was rich though.
Recently, Devin Haney publicly called out Shakur Stevenson on social media, declaring their matchup would be the next biggest fight in boxing and hinting at a massive payday for both fighters. Haney framed it as a true marquee event that fans are demanding and one that could elevate both careers. Stevenson responded more cautiously. Rather than shutting it down, he quoted Haney's post and warned, "Be careful what you ask for. Things might just happen," leaving the door open while stopping short of committing, signaling interest but also preserving his negotiating leverage.
Media, I'm doing the media stuff yesterday, I'm going around. Devin talked a little bit of
don't know if you've seen it.
Oh man, I seen some of this.
In a little something, he said one of the things they asked him, they asked him about his biggest payday or something. And he was like, "Yo, every time anybody fight this, the biggest payday." He said, "I offer Shakur his biggest payday."
I know where you going.
That's what he said.
Cap.
Yeah.
He just capping for like social media. Like he not gonna be like realistic about the situation. The thing, like the behind the scenes, like I talk to these people behind the scenes too. It ain't like he's the only person who's having conversations behind the scene. I know the full numbers of everything. I know what the number was when they was going to present the fight. It wasn't more than what I made in my last 3 fights. It's less than what I made in my last 3 fights. And that man getting way more, you feel me, than he ever made in his entire career to fight me. So it's like, you capping, like you going on social media capping and trying to spread lies to keep your name good. Like that's what I see from him.
Shakur Stevenson has addressed the ongoing narrative around negotiations with Devin Haney, stressing that the purse offer wasn't as it has sometimes been portrayed and that he didn't simply reject a great deal. Multiple reports indicate that Haney's camp proposed a 75-25 split in favor of Haney, meaning Stevenson would receive just 25% of the purse for a potential undisputed lightweight fight. Stevenson felt that share was too low given his accomplishments and status in the sport, publicly stating, "25% ain't it," and affirming that he knew his worth, noting he hadn't heard a better offer after that initial proposal. He also suggested that the reported negotiations were never formalized, and that the so-called offer may have been exaggerated or spun for public narrative purposes.
Be a real nigga in the situation because look who his father is.
Hold on, but if that would have been on pay-per-view, you wouldn't have made more money with it on pay-per-view, like with the way everything
we never got into that conversation. I don't know. I never got into that conversation. So even the part where he said, what the f he said? He said, man,
25% thing, you seen that?
No, he said he offered me a
flat fee. Yeah, flat fee.
Cap, like all of that shit.
No flat fee?
Man,
he said for the flat fee
said
first,
that I said no.
Exactly. Then they said, I had 25%.
Cap. None of that never happened. None of that shit.
Yeah.
It just became a 25%. That's what was offered. And honestly, I didn't really even get the offer. Somebody, big powers at Top Rank, called me about this. I'm like, what the f? Hell no, we definitely not doing that. Like, that's dead. But nah, he's capping. He's making us just to feel good about it.
However, making this dream fight happen may not be as simple as it seems. Shakur Stevenson became entangled in a dispute with the WBC when he attempted to fight at a higher weight of 140 pounds for another organization's title while keeping his WBC lightweight belt. Under WBC rules, any reigning champion wishing to compete in a different weight class must formally request permission to retain their title, a policy in place for decades to protect the value and legitimacy of championships. Stevenson's team made initial verbal requests, but the WBC required a formal written petition to move forward. Despite repeated follow-ups with his promoter and legal representatives, the paperwork was never submitted. As a result, the WBC chose to vacate, not strip, his lightweight title. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman emphasized that the organization acted strictly according to its rules, which apply equally to all champions.
Okay, so let me just ask this. Let me interrupt quickly. Why does Shakur Stevenson need the WBC's permission to fight in a different weight class for a different sanctioning body's title?
Because he requested that permission. If you want to keep your title, there are specific rules, and these rules have been in place for decades. When you are a champion in the WBC or any other organization, you have benefits from being a champion. When you are to engage in a non-title bout or in a title bout on another weight category, up or down, you need to receive the permission from the organization to do so. And that's what we have been consistent. It has happened so many times with many fighters. There's precedent.
Why is Shakur Stevenson no longer the champion?
Thank you. Let me give you the full story. We received a call from his management in which they requested the WBC to have Shakur Stevenson fight on a different weight category while maintaining the lightweight championship, and being this a WBC event, which even they asked for a special belt for the fight. We explained clearly that that is within the WBC rules, and that I would be very happy to convey that to the board and make it happen, because Shakur has been associated with WBC since 2019. I told his management they needed to send a written request in order to start all the process. From that point on, we had another couple of conversations. They were supposed to send a written request, which didn't happen.
Additionally, the WBC requested a sanctioning fee of $120,000 for allowing Shakur Stevenson to fight in another weight class while retaining his title. This fee, calculated as a percentage of the fighter's purse, is standard for special events. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman explained that the fee is not punitive but reflects the market value of holding a WBC championship and can be adjusted if the fighter or promoter shows it is excessive relative to the purse. Stevenson criticized the requirement, arguing the amount was excessive and unnecessary for a nominal sanctioning role. Critics have suggested that such rules can alienate top fighters and restrict flexibility in managing their careers. Suleiman defended the policy, emphasizing that it ensures consistency, preserves the legitimacy of titles, and upholds boxing's broader social responsibilities.
Insisting on them we tried everything to avoid this situation. What we send is the WBC approves your petition to fight, and according to the WBC rules, a fee of $120,000, which is less than the 3% that should be, which they, by the way, they can contest and say, no, we're not making this amount, we are making this, and we have done it many times. We have adjusted the sanction fees when the promoter or the manager or the fighter proves that it is less. Since we had zero communication from their side, we initiated that and we put $120,000 fee on a, they've been saying he made 7 or 10 million or whatever. We got zero response. The only response was, we will receive it, we will address this later today.
If you want, I can break down why the fight would be massive for casual fans versus hardcore boxing fans, so we can see which perspective dominates. Do you want me to do that?